morning. Yes, it is morning when I'm recording. It's 7 in the morning today. But I'm not going to let that stop me. Yes, today is another edition of Stefan Reads Line News. I'm Stefan. I'm reading Line News. Line is, of course, the biggest messaging app in the country, and it has its in the country of Japan, I should say. And it has its own little news tab now that aggregates all sorts of random junk news and spits them out to me on the good old Line machine, and I read them to you every single day here on this here YouTube channel / whatever the hell this is. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so at small_in_Japan, or follow me, Stefan Tetsu, at Stefan_Tetsu. And of course, we have a Patreon that is under construction still, kind of trying to rejigger some stuff there. We have a Discord channel. I'll put the link in the description below. Anyways, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Let's get right to it. So if this is your first time listening, Line News has 2 rows of random fluff stories, and in between those, and a nice little sandwich, is the actual news headlines. But we'll get to those in a second. Let's start with the fluff. Story number 1. Actress Aimee Nojo, or Nojo Aimee, I don't know why I said that in the English order there. I don't know, I was confused about what the right way to say these names is. Anyways, actress oh God, I just lost my train of thought. Actress Nojo Aimee, I was going to say Nomi. Nojo Aimee, Ami, the former, God, I said her name wrong the entire time. I should probably re-record this, but I'm not gonna. Want to know why? Because it is 7 in the morning and I haven't gone to sleep yet. So, let's get on with the story. Nojo Ami. There we go. I said it right. Nojo Ami, who is an actress and also, more importantly probably, a former Nogizaka 46 member, took a shugo shot, so a group shot, with all the other first-generation members in Nogizaka 46. Of course, the headline talks about her posting a shot of all the first-generation members and the fan reaction. Saiko na mensu. What an amazing group of people. Legendola. You're legends. That's self-explanatory. Yeah. So if you're a constant listener, you know that one of my pet peeves / the stories that always get bumped up here on Line News are absolutely pointless Instagram stories that are just like stories of what someone posted on Instagram and just like a summary / collection of all the comments that came in the replies, regardless of how stupid they are. So that is the same situation here. Why is my chair so squeaky? Anyways, let's move on. Let's look at story number 2. Sorry guys, I'm not exactly a huge Nogizaka fan, as you guys know. I'm not like an anti-Nogizaka guy or whatever. It's not like I'm like hating on him because like I'm some like old-fashioned AKB guy or some jazz like that, or like a Momokuro like fan or something. I'm not nothing like that, but I just don't have the bandwidth to talk about first-generation members of Nogizaka 46 getting together to take a group shot. That's just me. Anyway, story number 2. Origi Tomahawk Sakai, who just got married a couple weeks ago. Yeah, a couple weeks ago. I remember congratulating him on a Zoom meeting. He got married. He was on the latest episode of Downtown DX, which is one of the longer-running TV shows in Japanese TV at this point. Anyways, he was on Downtown DX. I forgot the second DX there. Downtown and Origi Tomahawk are, of course, both the Yoshimoto groups, as I am. Anyways, he talks about how he spends 800,000 yen on food every single month. 800,000 yen would be like, carry the 0 there, that'd be like $10,000 a month. I think I'm getting that right. Yeah. $10,000 a month on food, which is crazy. Anyways, the MC Hamada-san said you should just have your wife cook you dinner, and he says that his wife's actually worse at cooking him dinner than than he is, and she can't even boil a cup of noodles right. So he's paying 80,000. I can't get over that's 80. That I know, like extreme, like upper, like high class people that are way richer. Richer is one way of putting it, but yeah, people with more money than Sakai-san who spend way less than him on food. Of course, he doesn't have any kids or anything yet, so that's probably part of it. Wow, yeah, that's a lot of money. Anyways, this is another one of those summaries of something that happened on TV yesterday stories. Anyways, that's that first row of fluff stories. Let's move on to the second row, and we have something very, very timely to start out with. Oh my goodness. Story number 3 is pretty much a press release announcing that Japan's Got Talent is apparently a thing now. That's right, they're launching Japan's Got Talent, and the host, or I guess, no, it says one of the judges, I guess it's probably going to be the Simon, is Hamada-san from the aforementioned story about Sakai-san's food habits. He's going to be one of the judges. I guess he's going to be the Simon Cowell of Japan. This is very not... most countries, I guess, now have their own version of Got Talent at this point. I know that Yoshimoto has a certain comedian who goes around to different countries and participates in their version of Got Talent, and he's actually gotten a pretty huge. He has like a huge TikTok following at this point. He's really he's making a lot of money that way. I used to do gigs with him together, so I'm jealous much. Anyways, yeah. So Japan has its own version. Now, the thing about these Got Talent shows is, like, even though it's like Japan's Got Talent or America's Got Talent, like half the acts are from like different countries. So I wonder how that's going to work in Japan. Well, I guess you can come to Japan if you're here for work, technically. But how's it going to work for Japan when they're like so uptight about letting people into the country? Anyways, well, I guess they're launching this next year, in February of next year, I should say, on Abema TV. So it's not even an actual TV network. It's just on Abema. Not really a high-budget thing, but you can tell this is a Yoshimoto thing. They're launching on Abema in February, and that's pretty much all the information that's here today. But it's Japan's Got Talent, so I can pretty much generally tell you how things are going to go, even though we're still half a year out from the thing starting. Anyways, let's move on to the last of the fluff stories today. It's maybe a little bit of a sad one if you're a fan of Owarai, but Ojin Osborne, which is God, I don't know how to. Some of these, it's so hard to say some of these katakana names in English because like there's multiple ways to read certain characters that are. Not necessarily like kanji, where it's like you can read something and get a completely different meaning or word out of it, but like the way they stretch out the vowels isn't really indicated in the katakana form. Anyways, Ojin Osborne are breaking up at the end of the year. They're I think Nick is friends with one of them. I don't remember. But anyways, they're like a B class, C class level comedian group. They were finalists on the Manzai, so one of the comedy contests. And that was like 10 years ago at this point, though. So I'm guessing things haven't really worked out great for them since then. They announced this on their YouTube channel, so you can go watch that there. I should probably mention that Takamatsu, one of the members, Ojin Osborne, is actually leaving show business at the end of the year as well. So, sad news in the comedy world, I guess, but that's what happens. Comedy is ever changing. Gotta stay zen, man. Gotta stay zen. Anyways, moving on from all the fluff stories, you guys really stuck it out this time. I was looking at this. The Manzai finalist appearance was 2012, 2013. So, 2011 it looks like. That's been like 10 years ago. Anyways, let's move on to the actual news headlines. Story number 1 isn't even actually a story about Japan. It's a story, I think, I was working when this news broke, but most of Japan was sleeping. So this is probably the first hearing of it. Hearing of it. And that is, oh God, I should probably have waited till I went to bed before I recorded this episode. Um, anyways, this is the first we're hearing of Prince Elizabeth dying, passing away, cut down in her prime at the young age of 96 years old. I should probably not make light of this, but of course, it's kind of a biggish deal in Japan since they're one of the other few other countries that also has a ruling monarch. Of course, Japan just let its geriatric old emperor retire and put his son on the throne not last year, like 3 years ago. Um, so this is kind of interest to them. Apparently, this article in particular talks about how it's how the reaction of the new prime minister Truss, and how she's reacted to the loss of the Queen in Operation London Bridge. That not a Japanese story, but you can tell why it would be big news in Japan. Moving on to story number 2. It's so there was a murder in Ibaraki Prefecture, my old stomping grounds, but I'm not related to this act at all. I don't know why I implicated myself in a brutal murder and dumping of a body in a forest. The 34-year-old main suspect was rearrested, and I think this time he's going to be in prison for good. Hopefully, we'll see. He kind of met a woman online, took her up to his second home up in Ibaraki Prefecture. Apparently they were doing some pretty kinky sex stuff. She died one way or the other, and he dumped her body in the forest. And now he's been rearrested. So let that be a lesson for you guys. When you do your crazy sex stuff, if the person happens to die in Japan, don't just dump the body in the forest. Story number 3. Yes, Toitsu Kyokai, the Unification Church Mooney scandal story. Continuing on even more, there is an audit within the Jiminto, the LDP, Liberal Democratic Party, that revealed that 37 members of the Abeha, so like the Abe party, the Abe faction of the party, had connections with the Unification Church, the same church whose disgruntled former ex-member killed the former prime minister. And then the Asoha, which probably has some overlap with the Abeha, has 21 people that had some connection to Toitsu Kyokai, or the Unification Church. So overall, it's looking like, and it says the Kishidaha, the current prime minister, his faction has 15 people in the throes of the Unification Church. So we'll see what happens from here, but I guess they have that all figured out now, kind of. Probably not. They're probably just going to hope that something crazy happens and everyone just forgets, which will probably be the case. Anyways, those are the top 3 news stories today. Jesus criminy. If you haven't yet done so, like and subscribe. Follow us on all the social media thingy-mabobs. And we'll be back in a couple days, or tomorrow, or whenever, with another edition of Stefan Reads Line News. Until next time, I am Stefan, saying I need to take a nap.